So what you're looking at is a Lincoln Continental 1963 from Ricoh Models. It's got a lot of great details in it. Look at that colorful interior. And one thing I gotta tell you is this is 187 scale. So even 187 scale has got a metallic emblem on it. So it's quite impressive. So I like the Lincoln Continental. I've had this one for a long time, at least 10 years, probably 15 years. Maybe when the Matrix movies were out, or when Entourage, the TV show, the HBO show was around, I was all into this car, and I really thought about buying one of them, but I chickened out because the convertible roof has a lot of hydraulic actuators or electric motors. I forget what it had, but it seemed overly complex, and it was bound to fail had I bought one. This one is actually by Hot Wheels of all things. I didn't even realize that. This is an old model again. I've owned since I bought it probably 15 years ago. So I am curious. It seems to the paint quality is definitely it's worn. It's not shiny anymore. I'm just looking for paint rash. If Hot Wheels get paint rash, it possibly does. Like right there, maybe that's paint rash. Okay, well, anyways, this is thrown around a lot, and but it's still a cool looking car. I just love the old Lincolns with the suicide rear doors. So anyways, those are just a couple of introductory models of the Greenlight we're going to take a look at. This is a 1965 Lincoln Continental convertible from the Barrett-Jackson auctions. So these are photos from the Barrett-Jackson auction. So I'm pretty sure this car is supposed to be that car. So let's just take a look here in the back. I was curious because it's sold for $110,000. It's saying that it was totally redone. All the rust was taken out. And then, yeah, it was pretty much made better than new. And they added fuel injection, which is pretty cool. Scottsdale 2019. Okay, well, let's open this guy up. So the Continental spans many generations, and the Continental started in 1940, but this would be a fourth generation Continental, which came out in 1961 and was sold up until 1969. This being a 1965 model, this would have had a 7-liter V8, and all of them only had 3-speed transmissions, which I found to be interesting. I mean, 3 speeds, that's not much for fuel efficiency, for ratios. But I guess with a 7-liter engine, it must have had a lot of torque, and it could probably get off the line pretty easily. Okay, so the styling is credited to Elwood Ingle, and I think he was the vice president of design or something at the time. And this was built on a stretched out version of the 1961 Thunderbird. The rear doors are suicides. That's why the door handles there are right next to each other. And then for its day, it had a jar warning light, which is taken for granted nowadays, but I guess back in the 60s, not many cars told you that the door was open. This is also supposed to be the first 4-door convertible from an American manufacturer, a major American manufacturer after World War II. Okay, and then the power top here, which is again the reason why I chickened out from buying it. But I guess it does hide away under here, so pretty neat. Okay, well, that's all I learned about the car. Let's take a look at these photos here and see if there's any similarities. It's a sinister looking vehicle. I mean, it looks like it's out of a Batman cartoon. Wheels, they're generally similar. The headlights, the grill, okay. The only thing I'm missing here in the grill, though, is if you look at the photograph, it's a egg crate. They're vertical stripes, and I don't see any vertical stripes in this grill. These are just all horizontals. But I think the real car had like an egg crate grill. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so looking at the back view, we've got these wraparound tail lights. They look pretty good. There's even some fine ribbing in there. I don't know what this little dot is in the middle of it, so please leave a comment if you could let us know. I'm sure many people don't know. Alright, well, proportions look alright. I do kind of feel that the kick up here isn't enough though. You see on this car how the rear fender kicks up and then it goes straight back? Here the kick up is barely noticeable. Look from the side, it doesn't kick up at all actually. It's just a little indentation there and then it goes up, but yeah, so the casting could have been better. This rear fender just isn't raised up like that, in my opinion. Oh well, that's too bad. So we got a nice molded interior, 3-spoke steering wheel, ribbing on the seats, the door panels, armrests. I'm sure this thing seats 6 adults comfortably. Yeah, looks pretty good. Alright, let's look at the rear end here. Barrett Jackson license plate, which is great. A little keyhole. The Lincoln badge. It's really well printed. Yeah, those lights are nicely done. The separate chrome plastic bumper is nice. You know, it's nice that it's not molded in. Continental looks really sharp. The wheels here, yeah, they're alright. I'm trying to, is that a Lincoln badge in the middle? I think it is. Let me zoom in. I thought it was a scratch at first, but I think it actually might be printed. Yeah, I guess that's supposed to be a Lincoln thing. So that's pretty good. The white wall's, you know, not particularly round. I'm just wondering if the tire is on properly. Yeah, I might have to just mess with the tires a little bit to make it rounder. The back one looks fine. Nice printing there. There's a little key lock under the door handles. The silver paint around the windshield, so that looks good. The wipers are good because they're actually connected to a wiper arm. I've seen others where there's no arm and they're just floating wiper blades. So this one looks good. That must be for like the antenna stub, that little silver dot. The headlights, you know, clear plastic inserts, looking alright. Unfortunately, this headlight, what is going on? I think it might be missing plastic. How could that, man, quality control Greenlight. Look, that's like a piece of plastic, I think, that's missing, or wait, it's backing, maybe that's black paint on the clear plastic, because that's not air, it's a surface. Oh, look at all that. See, I think there's a lot of extra paint there. So that's weird. Yeah, look at this. The silver paint. Or, oh, this must be a casting. I think this is cast metal. And they're putting the lights in from the inside of the vehicle. So, the holes aren't cast properly. This is all extra zinc. And the lights can't protrude through because they're put in from the backside. Oh well. Alright, anyways, license plate looks good. And then I already talked about, I think there should be vertical lines in that grille. Wrap around lights up here. I guess they are white on the real car, so... Wait a second, I wonder if there's... I think there might be white paint in there. I can't tell if there's white paint between these grooves or if it's just a... I almost feel like there's paint. So that's a nice step they added. So, yeah, I don't like these opening hoods. Look at this gap. That's a huge panel gap. Let's see if the engine is even worth looking at. Oh, it's a flip forward hood. Well, I guess for Greenlight, that's better than usual. I've seen some which look like Hot Wheels blobs. This one's a little bit more better detailed, but I still would rather just have no opening hood, so all this looks consistent. This doesn't look really nice. It doesn't fit in with like the back, right? But at least it's a dark color, so it's, I guess, a little less visible. Oh my god, that gap is just mammoth. That might be the worst panel gap I've seen ever. Look at that. That much of my dental pig is going in there. That's more than a millimeter. So in real life, if this was a hood panel gap, in real life, it would be wider. It's about as wide as this whole model. So, that's why I don't like it. Okay. Some metal base here. Nice tires. What the heck? Alright, look at this. This is screw. I think this is the first Greenlight I've ever seen that has a screwed together base. So that's great. So I can open this up, probably drill out these holes, or take a little tiny file out those holes so they're round, and then I can get all the headlights to look nice and even. So Greenlight, thank you. This needs to be done on all your models so you give people a chance to fix your QC problems. Alright, very cool. Alright. Sorry, well, if you guys are curious, you can fast forward if you want, but let's see what this thing looks like, because I've never taken apart a Greenlight. I've never bothered to drill one apart. Seems to be out. It's a tab. So that's interesting. You know, Hot Wheels has 3 tabs holding the axle here. This one is kind of similar to an Aoshima I've seen before, where they just go through the holes here. Interesting. Well, I guess the interior piece doesn't matter because we've already taken a good look at it. But the windshield is riveted on, and then there's a separate... Oh boy. Why would they even have this piece? I guess they put that there so you won't see air going through past the tire. But that means I'm going to have to take a drill these 2 out in order to access those headlight holes. So I can't show you guys everything. Alright, well, let's put this back together then and let it go for a spin, I guess. Alright. So, it's not the best Lincoln Continental out there. I honestly think this 187 scale model is better. Because look, this one actually has the chrome trim going up along the whole fender. Greenlight didn't even bother to paint a silver line up there. I don't know if this... I think this Barrett-Jackson card, it does have the chrome thing. I think it said on the packaging even it has a restored chrome trim. So, sorry, I went out of focus, didn't it? But yeah, I think you can see the little chrome trim on this photograph. So I don't know why Greenlight totally ignored that. There should be a silver line going along that whole top edge. But here, if you look at this Ricoh model... focus. You can see this line kicking up. Right? It kicks up on the back half. This model is actually more accurate. It's smaller scale. And it's got the chrome around the wheel well as well, and Greenlight ignored that. So yeah, this is another case where a hobby grade 187, this still has clear lenses on the headlights. There's no grille because this is actually a pre-production model. This isn't the final version. I'm sure the final one had a printed on grille. This one actually even has clear taillights, whereas this is just chrome plastic. So yeah, this Ricoh is a fantastic model, even if it's a pre-production. The Hot Wheels, yeah, they skipped all the chrome. They skipped the chrome up here and on the wheel wells. But I mean, it's a Hot Wheels, so you really can't expect much realism from that brand. So a little let down. Greenlight definitely cheaped out, I think. I think if they didn't waste money on this thing, the opening hood, they could have easily had money left over to print chrome around the wheel well and on that bumper, the whole fender line, the shoulder line. So, alright, well, I don't know. I might do a wheel swap on this. These wheels actually do seem accurate to the real photographs, but I already have a more realistic Lincoln in 187 scale, so I always thought, you know, this would be a cool car to have aftermarket wheels on. And so I'm back here with a wheel swap and an interior repaint. I have these WORDC wheels that I originally put on the Bugatti Veyron, of all things. And I thought they actually looked okay on this hypercar. But I originally bought these wheels to put on like a classic vehicle, because they kind of look like, you know, Dayton wire wheels or something, but more modern, of course. So they look very VIP, but for me, they actually seem to work on this hypercar. But I do think it would be better to have them on something like this Lincoln. You know, if you look at the images behind, those are some cool custom Lincolns, same year and stuff. This one's got a nice blacked out grill, and I thought about doing that, but it turned into a Hot Wheels if it was just all black, right? So I decided to keep the chrome trim. And then I'm thinking maybe one day I'm going to 3D print some of these wheels for some other project. Those are cool. They look like old Mercedes monoblock wheels or something. And a mix of rally wheels, OZ rally wheels. So anyways, yeah, I already forgot if I didn't show you this. This is WORDC brand wheels, and I think they work well for this car. The interior is simple enough to paint. The dashboard does come off, and so I left that black and then just painted the rest gray just to help bring out the details more. I took a little X-Acto knife and I trimmed off a little bit of the plastic around that one headlight. These clear lights seem to be glued onto the back side of this black piece of plastic. I tried pushing them out, but I think I would break them. So I just took some X-Acto, and actually I think there's some glue residue on that clear lens. The bumper is a separate piece from this piece as well. So there's really 3 pieces of plastic: bumper, the grille, and then the lights, or 4 pieces. There's 2 light pieces, and those are all, pushing through the casting. And there's some heat melted plastic back there that I just cut off with an X-Acto. So, okay. Well, anyways, I guess this is my custom Lincoln Continental convertible. And I'll just keep that 187 scale car as the stock version, since that one has the chrome trim on the shoulder line, whereas this one does not. But it works out. It's cool. It's still, I think, a cool looking model. So hopefully if you like classic convertibles, you enjoyed this video. And if not, well, maybe you'll like the next video. Thanks. Bye.